You ever come across a really profound idea, maybe some ancient wisdom, and it feels like you just can't crack it? You turn it over and over in your mind, you analyze it, but it just stays locked. Well, what if the key isn't to think harder, but to feel deeper? Today, we're going to explore that exact idea, a totally different way to engage with wisdom. And boom, right there, this sentence is our way in. It really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. It's basically telling us that our usual tools, logic, analysis, that real aggressive need to conquer knowledge, might actually be the very things holding us back. We're being invited to switch our entire operating system, from the mind to the heart. So think about it like this. Imagine all the world's wisdom is inside this huge, magnificent palace. You can see it, you know it's in there, but you can't for the life of you find the door. You try every single intellectual key you've got, but nothing works. The door stays shut. It's a really frustrating feeling, right? Trying to force your way into a place that needs a totally different kind of key. And here it is. Here's the big reveal. The key to that palace isn't some complex logical proof. It's a fundamental shift in how we approach it. It's moving from that aggressive need to conquer the information to a receptive, loving state of just letting go. It's about letting the wisdom in instead of trying to break the door down. Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? I mean, it sounds great, but how do we do it? Well, we've got this fantastic comparison between two very different ways of understanding. Let's break them down. Now, this is so interesting. Look at how these two paths are framed. The intellect, it treats wisdom like a math problem. You pounce on it, you solve it, and once it's understood, you're done. You just discard it and move on. It's finished. It's done. But the heart, the heart treats wisdom like poetry. You don't just swallow it whole, you savor it, you sip it. You keep coming back to it, and the more you love it, the more it reveals to you. A great poem is never truly finished, is it? And this just illustrates that difference perfectly. To study something implies a task with an end goal, getting it done. But to recite something, that suggests a continuous practice. It's not about finishing the book. It's about letting the book become a part of your very being, getting its taste and its rhythm deep inside you by coming back to it in different moods at different times. Okay, this brings us to the core metaphor of our entire explainer. This is a really powerful image that can completely reframe how we approach these dense bits of wisdom. It's the idea that a sutra isn't just a statement, it's a seed. So first off, what even is a sutra? The word itself means thread, but in this context, it's a statement that is incredibly brief, super dense. Think of it like a telegraphic message from the universe. Every single word is just packed with meaning. There's zero filler. And this right here is the crucial point. A sutra isn't just a statement to be understood, it's a seed. It might look small and, honestly, pretty simple on the surface, but it contains the entire blueprint for a whole tree of understanding. All the potential, all the branches, the leaves, the fruit, it's all packed inside that tiny little shell. So that kind of begs the question, right? If you're holding a seed in your hand, you can't see the tree. I mean, you can break it open, you can put it under a microscope, analyze its components, but you will never find a miniature tree inside. So what do you have to do to see its true potential? You have to sow it, and that is the practice. It's not about judging the seed or analyzing it to death. It's all about creating the right conditions for it to grow. So this next part, this is really the how-to for cultivating that wisdom. The whole process is about patience and being receptive. You take the sutra, that little seed, and you just let it sink into the soil of your heart. You have to suspend that intellectual need to immediately slap a label on it, right or wrong. You just carry it with you, savoring it when you're happy, when you're sad, and then you wait. You wait for that glimpse, that flash of insight that doesn't come from analysis, but from your own lived experience. This quote just hits so hard because it really drives home how important humility is in this whole process. If we haven't actually experienced the light of understanding that the sutra's pointing to, how can we possibly stand there and judge it? Our immediate intellectual opinion is frankly irrelevant. We have to be willing to admit we're in the dark and just wait for the dawn. And to make this idea absolutely crystal clear, there's one last, really powerful comparison that contrasts the living nature of a sutra with something else that we think of as precious, but is, well, ultimately dead. So look at this. On the surface, a seed can look like a worthless little pebble,
A jewel, on the other hand, like the famous Kohinoor diamond, is obviously valuable. It's beautiful, it's shiny. But what is the fundamental difference? The jewel is dead. You can bury it for 1,000 years and absolutely nothing will happen. But that humble little seed, if you sow it in the right soil, it contains the miracle of life. It has potential. The jewel just has static value.
So here's the bottom line. We often treat wisdom like a jewel, right? A possession to be acquired, polished up, and put on display. But this whole perspective shows us that true understanding is a living thing. It's not something we own, it's something we cultivate and grow inside of ourselves. It is an ongoing, dynamic process of becoming.
And that leaves us with one last thought to carry with us. Think about the ideas you've come across, the ones you've maybe dismissed because they didn't make immediate logical sense. What seeds of profound wisdom might you have been treating like worthless pebbles, when all they really needed was to be planted in the soil of your heart and just given a little time to grow?